Hello, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. I know it's a little over 3 p.m. in Ghana. It's midnight here in Japan. Yesterday, let me put it that way, the Black Stars of Ghana displayed an incredible performance against the senior national team of Chile in the third and fourth place encounter in the current cup here in Osaka. The Blasters emerged victorious after that incredible display, going down by a man in the early 70 in the early 70s minutes, and then suffering another numerical disadvantage, getting to the 80th minute. Ali Dusedu and Mubarak Wakasu were all shown red cards in the game. They couldn't finish the game. The Black Stars finished the game with 9 men against 11 men of Chile, but the game ended goalless at the end of 90 minutes. Then the game went through the lottery of penalty kicks, and Abdul Manaf Nuruddin displayed a stupendous performance, stopping 2 penalties and the Chileans kicking one over the bar, giving the Black Stars a 3-1 victory to emerge victorious and then winning the bronze medal after the competition. The Stars actually played their first game on Friday against Japan in a game that Ghana lost by 4 goals to 1. Very disappointing. A game that we don't even wish to talk about again. But you ask yourself, after Friday and then yesterday's game, then you ask a lot of questions. Was this tournament worth it? Yes, it was worth it. Are there some lessons that could be learned from this particular tournament? Yes, 1, 2, or 3. I think there are a lot of many lessons. First of all, let's look at the worthiness of the tournament. Many may share the view that, considering the fact that the Blasters had to play against Madagascar, move all the way to Angola to play the Central African Republic, and then travel a very far distance to Japan, and for that matter Osaka, to play in this particular tournament, was something that shouldn't have been entertained, because the players were tired, considering the fact that they were coming from a very long season with their clubs. But one key thing that will make you understand this tournament was worth it is the fact that it was a tournament that provided the technical handlers of the team a very huge platform of seeing most of the players. To be honest with you, if you consider this particular technical team and when they were handed the Black Stars coaching job, having to play the 2-legged playoff against Nigeria in the World Cup playoff, where Ghana drew 0-0 in Kumasi and drew 1-1 in Abuja to qualify for the World Cup. There's not been any huge assignment until the AFCON 2023 qualify against Madagascar and Central African Republic, and these are qualifications. So experimentation was something very difficult for the coaches to do, since they had to play and secure points. Now here is a situation where this tournament came across the line, and it has provided, or it was a platform for the coaches to test a lot of players. So I have been asking a lot of questions, and I think that first of all, this particular tournament has provided the technical handlers of the team a very wide platform of testing the commitment and dedication of their players. After the game against Central African Republic in Angola, 12 players couldn't make it. 8 of the players were through injuries: Kamaldeen Suleiman, Elisha Usu, Baba Idrisu, Antoine Semenyo, Jonathan Mensah, Jojo Wallacott, you know, almost all the players who couldn't make it were through in Gideon Mensah, Joseph Pinsel. Then you can talk about Daniel Kofice, who also had to move back to Germany to conclude his deal with his club. So there were a whole lot of situations where the players had to leave. And so the coaches had to come to this particular tournament with only 18 players. Only 18 players. Now, these 18 players who came really demonstrated, commitment and dedication to the cause of Ghana. Yes, they showed that if only it is about the flag of Ghana, if it is only about the name of Ghana, wherever they have to go and play to protect and defend the good name of Ghana, they are ready to do that. And so all the players who came to this particular tournament, we have to give them a standing ovation, congratulate them, clap for them, and then encourage them to continue showing commitment to the cause of the nation. And other players will certainly also learn from what is happening. Now, apart from the fact that they've shown dedication and commitment to the cause of Ghana, the platform has also provided an opportunity for the coaches to test a lot of tactical variations that they can use going forward. Now, with the 18 players that Ghana brought to this particular tournament, only one player was a centre back, and that was Daniel Amate. He was the only centre back in the team. And so the coaches had to work around him, see how they could put players, peg them around Amate to ensure that they will be able to play and play very well. Now, in the game against Japan, we saw the team playing three back. Daniel Amate, Andy Yadom, and then Edmond Ado playing as three centre backs. Then, Daniel Amate, Andy Yadom, and then Alidu Sedu playing as three centre back. Andy Yadom, and then this particular player from Accra House of Folk, Dennis Kosa, playing as wing backs. Mubarak Wakasu, Andre Ayew, and then Abdul Kudus Muhammad playing in the middle. Then we had Jordan Ayew, and then Christopher Nkreje also leading the attack over there. Now, it was a game that provided a variety of options for the coaches, regardless of the fact that they lacked quality at the back. Clearly, you could see that apart from Daniel Amate, all the other players were used as makeshift players at the back. So the tournament actually gave the coaches an idea of how to use certain players in case of difficulties of this particular nature. It's possible that we go to the World Cup, we can suffer injuries at the back, we can suffer, cards, and the coaches will have to improvise. So this particular tournament has really given them that opportunity of improvising and using certain players in certain positions. And clearly we saw when Halidu was used as a makeshift, centre back as part of the back three, how he played. And then when the game had to also change to a three back, how the four back, how the coaches were able to use Halidu, how they were able to use Christopher Nkreje in the game against Japan. Now, in yesterday's game against Chile, we saw a different setup altogether. Thankfully, Baba Rahman was ready for the game after he was unable to play in the first game against Japan because he arrived in Japan 2 days to the game, and he had to be on isolation for the 3 days before he could be part of the team. So clearly in the game against Japan, there was no way that Baba Rahman could play. So the coaches, regardless of the fact that they had Baba Rahman in camp, also lacked him. They couldn't have used him. So eventually, in the game against Chile, Baba Rahman was ready. So the coaches played a 4-back system. They played Baba Rahman on the left. They played Ali Dusedu on the right. Then in the heart of defense, they played Daniel Amate and then Edmond Ado. And we saw how the team played. played very well in the entirety of the second half, created some incredible chances, because they had Mubarak Akasu in central midfield role, Andre Ayew and Kudus Mohammed, then Felix Afinajan, Benjamin Tete, and Fatau Ishaku. In the first half, Fatau, with his unfavorable right foot, nearly broke the virginity of the game for Ghana. But the goalkeeper of Chile yesterday was incredible, was amazing, was fantastic. He stopped Fatau from scoring in the first half. And in the second half, we saw Benjamin Tete unluckily also hitting the woodworks on 2 occasions. That was very unlucky for Benjamin, because he would have wished to find the back of the net for the Black Stars. So, but he couldn't also, score. We saw Andre Ayew coming close to scoring. The goalkeeper once again, saving the situation. And eventually, on the blink of the referee whistling for the close of the game, Kudus Mohammed nearly scored the winner for Ghana, but the goalkeeper once again, stood to the test and was able to stop Kudus's, strike from scoring. So Ghana created decent chances, came close to, scoring, but Chile did very well, by defending very well through their goalkeeper. So the game had to go to penalties, even after Ghana has suffered 2 men down. And that is where I am particularly, concerned. When Ali Dusedu was shown the red card, the coaches had to bring on, a player. Before then, don't forget that Edmond Ado had suffered a thigh injury, so he was pulled out of the game and then was replaced by Andy Yadom. Then, Halidu suffered that particular unfortunate red card, so the coaches had to, change their system. So Andy had to move to right back. Baba Rahman had to move to center back position per Daniel Amate there, and then Fatau had to come back to play as a left back. Then Mubarak Wakasu suffered another red card, and the coaches again had to bring out Andy Yadom and bring on Dennis Kosa, who is a left-footed, defender, so that they could push Baba Rahman in that particular, midfield role and put Dennis behind them and play a 3-back system. Then move, all the other players, especially Christopher Ntwege, who also came on from the bench, moved into a more deeper defensive situation like a right back. So the variations, the coaches have had the opportunity of trying, testing, moving the players around, varying them from situation to situation, and the team was resolute. They were very resilient and stood to the test. The game went to penalties and they won eventually. So it has also provided a very big platform for the coaches to test their tactical variations. Then we talk about adaptation. This is point number 3. Adaptation. We saw Edmond Ado, who is a central midfielder. He's not even a defensive midfielder. A lot of people see him as a defensive midfielder, but Edmond actually is an offensive midfielder. In fact, when he started playing, he was playing as an orthodox number 10, because he has got skill, he's able to move with the ball and other stuff. Then he was moved to the orthodox number 8 position, central offensive midfield. So occasionally he places as a defensive midfielder. But his versatility was tested when he was put at the center-back role against Japan and against Chile, and I think he played very well. Not being a natural center-back, and considering the fact that he was able to play, with Amati, I think that he's one of the revelations. He's shown adaptation to situations. Ali Duseru, the same thing. He played in a 3-back system. He moved to the right-back position. He moved to the left-back position. And you could see the energy, the zeal, the enthusiasm, the aggression, and the pace, the speed with which he recovers, when they have to, transition into defense. And I think that he's also shown a great deal of adaptation over there. Christopher Ntweje is also another wonderful player. Has a lot of energy, pace, skill. His technique is incredible. And, you know, whenever there is a problem, he's able to demonstrate that he's ready to move into a more defensive role to help the team. You know, and we saw how he played in both legs. So he's also one of the players that we can also say that he's also adapted very well. And then Baba Rahman playing as a left back, then coming to the central midfield role or the central defensive role because of the numerical disadvantage that Ghana suffered, and a whole lot of situations. So we've also seen adaptation on the part of the players and how they adapt to situations when you know there are challenges for the team. I've already spoken about the resilience and the tactical awareness of both the players and the coaches. You know, even when Ghana has suffered 2 men down, you could see that the team did not lose focus, they did not lose concentration. They were resolute, they were compact, they were resilient. They had a sense of purpose, and I think that we need to applaud, you know, the players and the technical team for that particular way of play and how they were able to sustain the scoreline regardless of the fact that they went down by 2 men, you know, disadvantage to Chile, but they were able to hold on strongly to the blast of the final pistol to push the game into penalty kicks. And then finally, my point number 5, I would say that we've also the tournament has also provided us with a platform of, you know, seeing a lot of revelations. At least we've seen 3 different players. Edmond Ado playing as a center back when he's not a center back. Abdul Manaf Nuruddin today also showed. In fact, those who watched the entirety of the game, it is not only about the penalties that Manaf saved that made him the hero of the game. Go back and watch the game again, and you can see his playing positions when the game is in session, when Ghana has possession, when Ghana loses possession, how he positions himself at the back. In fact, on about 4 occasions, he became the sweeper. And that was something that I was noticing very well. Yes, he was the sweeper, like the last defender, because he came out of the penalty area on about 3 occasions to head the ball away. And I think that if he had not done that and had allowed the Chilean striker to pick the ball whilst he is in his post before he comes out, that would have given the Chilean attacker an advantage of scoring. So how he positioned himself on the field of play, it is something that I also admired and noticed and admired that very, very well. And I think that apart from the fact that he saved the penalties, the way he played was also incredible. And then finally, Halidou Seydou, who also played an amazing role wherever he was put on the field of play. So yes, the tournament, Ghana may not have won the tournament. We didn't win the tournament, but I think that the lessons from the tournament are enough, you know, to justify why this tournament was important for the Blasters. First of all, it has, you know, given us a platform of seeing the committed and dedicated players for the national team. We've seen, you know, the tactical variations of the coaches. We've seen the adaptation of players to different situations. We've seen how resilient and tactically strong the team was when even they had 2 men down. And then we've also seen some revelations in the game. And I think that this is what Ghanaians should be talking about. These should be the talking points after the Black Stars exploits in Japan. And I think that going forward, we will see a lot of good things with the new Black Stars. Good evening from Japan.